everyone. My name is Jun Pham. I'm from Chicago University. And today I'm going to present my paper titled Do Family Firms Exploit Voluntary Disclosure Practice Before Share Repurchase and Seasonal Equity Offering? So the problem is like there's the prevalence of family firm in the US and around the world. And their certain characteristics has been documented in many research papers, especially in finance industry. As a significant part of the corporate world, family-owned family firms account for about 1/3 of the S&P 500 universe. And prior study report around 1/3 companies are family-controlled internationally. So I gave you some summary literature review. A family-owned company is a firm in which at least one member of the founding family continues to hold a position in top management or sit in the board, or the members of the founding family still have the certain ownership in the company. First, family firms are characteristics by the founding family concentrated ownership and the founding family's member active involvement in the firm's management, either as a top executive or as a director. So research purpose and questions. On average, founding families hold around 18% of the equity and 22% of directorships. And family firm members hold the CEO position in 62% of family firms. Such engagement of founding family members reduce the agency problem between owner and managers, which is tied one agency problem in the family firms. But because of the control advantage of the larger shareholder, the second type of agency problem, type 2, between large and small shareholders might emerge in family firms more severe. These distinguished features can potentially affect such family financial disclosure choices. So most of the articles compare, the research question is most of the article compare family and non-family firms on the choice of their corporate policies and the effect of such policy in the firm performance. However, family firms' decisions over financial disclosure has not yet received much attention in prior literature. So unlike prior work, we focus on the voluntary disclosure practice of family and non-family firms. Okay, so the voluntary disclosure literature then treats all firms as uniform group. You can see some of the researcher name and the article here. However, not all firms are alike. Family firms' unique ownership structure characteristics, the legacy in the firm, and the higher proportion of directorship may result in different voluntary disclosure practice. Therefore, in this paper, we examine the difference in the management earnings forecast between family and non-family firms in the following aspects: the frequency of the earning forecast, the quality of the earning forecast, and the information disclosure practice during two information-sensitive corporate events, stock repurchase and seasonal equity offering. So we have three hypotheses. Hypothesis 1, compared to other shareholder, family owners have a longer investment horizons. Based on the limit, like 8 to 10 minutes, I'm gonna skip the literature review here, talking about the family owner have a longer investment horizons. Okay, so in hypothesis 1, we hypothesize that family firm prefer issuing annual earning forecast to quarterly earning forecast. Hypothesis 2, compared to others owner, family owners are usually more actively involved in firm management by serving as executive or directors. Thus, family owners have better access to information and can better monitor management, reducing the agency problem between management and shareholder. Bertman and in 2004 and Vino Longer and Admit in 2006, they document that family firms can have reduced firm value, can have increased firm value since they have better control and access to company operation. The founding family members are more concerned about carrying the legacy of the founder and protecting the reputation of the firm. In addition, family members are closely watching the manager to prevent any wrongdoings that might damage the family reputation. Therefore, we predict that family firms issue more quality earnings forecasts than non-family firms, especially in industry with high litigation risk. And the last hypothesis, hypothesis 3, as discussed before, family firms are more susceptible to type 2 agency problems, which is the conflicts of interest between large and small stockholders. In this case, founding family members, which is the large stockholders, might put their interests first at the expense of minority stockholder in the firm. Of course, this might contradict to our argument above that family firm on average issue higher quality management earning forecast. However, we will test this idea by looking at the management earning forecast practice at the two most important corporate events in which the potential benefit of exploiting information disclosure practice to large shareholders outweigh the cost incurred by them. These two information sensitive events are open market stock repurchase and seasonal equity offering. So here are some literature on the hypothesis 3, which I will skip. So all the above mentioned evidence lead us to predict that family firms are more likely to act in favor of their major stockholder family member in the two events. Specifically, family firms might intentionally release more bad news before the repurchase program in order to depress the stock price and buy back stock at the expenses of the minority stockholder who choose to redeem their stocks. On the other hand, family firms purposely inflate stock prices by releasing more good news before seasonal equity offering announcement. By doing this, the firm take advantage of selling their inflated stock to new stockholder. Our data, we get the data of family and non-family firm in S&P 500, and also based on the data made available by Edison and VIP in their 2003 research. From the period 2000 and 2006, we get it from Liu in her research in 2011. Then we get data for accounting risk variable from CompuStat, the stock return from the Center for Research in Security Prices, the data for analysis information from IBERS, and the institutional ownership data from CDA Spectrum. Then we exclude utility and financial firms because of their special regulatory requirements. We also exclude firm years which have negative net assets, negative market value of equity, or negative dividend, following some prior research. And then we merge our family firm data with data for management earnings forecast, data for repurchase announcement, and seasonal equity offering. So our final sample has about close to 3,000 firm years observation from 1995 to 2006. So in order to test hypothesis 1, we run the following progressions. The probability of issuing the annual earning forecast, ANN equal 1, will be equal. The independent variable is the family firm. This is a binary variable. And of course, we control for all other firm characteristics in the regressions. Right. For hypothesis 2, we run the progressions with the dependent variable is the accuracy of the report. And of course, the interested variable is the family firm here. And of course, we control for all the characteristics of the firm. And for hypothesis 3, of course, we have to run 2 tests. Hypothesis 3A, we want to test family firm if family firm are likely to issue bad news prior to stock repurchase announcement to inflate the stock price. So the probability that bad news equal 1 will be equal a regression with the intrinsic variable is a binary family firm and all other control variable. And for hypothesis B, in hypothesis 3B, we test if family firms are more likely to issue good news prior to seasonal equity offering to lower the stock price so they can buy back, issue good news so they can inflate the price before they sell the stock price to the market. So probability of good equal 1 is the dependent variable, and the family is the independent variable, and of course we control for other control variable. I will show you the table in a minute if I have time, but let me tell you what we found. So we find that family firms prefer issuing annual earning forecast to quarterly ones. The finding is consistent with the argument that family firms have a longer investment horizon. We also find evidence that family firms have a higher probability of providing more accurate management earning forecasts than non-family firms do. This supports our hypothesis too, that family firms pay more attention to the quality of their earning forecast to protect the family legacy and reputation and alleviate the possibility of facing litigation issues. Most importantly, we find that family firms are more likely to issue downward earning forecasts, like bad news, prior to stock repurchase announcement, and release upward earning forecasts, like good news, prior to seasonal equity offerings. We conclude that family firms statistically influence information flow before the true corporate events for their own benefits at the expense of outside shareholders. Our results are robust in both pre and post regulation fair disclosure periods. All right, then I will quickly show you the table. Okay. How can I share the table now? Yeah, share, new share. You see my table in Word now?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. So I have a lot of tables, but let me show you the three result table of the three hypotheses. So hypothesis 1 saying like family firms are more likely to issue annual earning forecast compared to quarterly earning forecast. So you can see here, like in table 5, the coefficient for the binary family firm is positive and significant in all model 1 to 3, which means if the firm is a family firm, it's more likely to issue annual earning forecast compared to quarterly earning forecast, because the dependent variable is the annual earning forecast. So because the coefficient is positive, that it supports our hypothesis that if the firm is a family firm, it's more likely to issue annual earning forecast. Hypothesis 2 saying that a family firm is more likely to issue accurate earning forecast. So the dependent variable is accuracy of the earning forecast, and you can see the coefficient of the family firm is also positive and significant in all model, which give support to our hypothesis 2. And in table 3A, we run the regressions. So the firm is more likely to issue bad news. If bad news is equal 1, prior to stock repurchase. So the stock price will reduce and the firm can buy back at the low price. And the coefficient of the family firm, again, is significant and is positive and statistically significant in all models. And for our model 3B, like the result in table 7B support our result, support our hypothesis 3B, saying that the firm is more likely, the family firm is more likely to issue good news before seasonal equity offering. Right, you can see like the probability, the dependent is good news here, and the coefficient of the family variable is positive and significant in all the tree model, which means if the firm is a family firm, it's more likely to issue good news prior to the seasonal equity offering. Right. So I would end my presentation right here. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you, sir. That was a wonderful presentation.